there, welcome to Subpar Stitches. My name is Hillary, and this is my Flosstube channel. So today I have, the normal stuff. I want to show you all my whips and new starts and finishes. I have no FFOs. And then I did, at the end, have some haul, and I want to talk to you about my plans for next year, because it seems like that's what everybody's doing. They're like, my plans for 2024, and like my plans, I have some, so I will share those with you as well. Another 2 weeks have passed, and I'm like, every time I'm like, oh, I don't feel like I have enough to even make a video. And then I look at my list of whips and I'm like, oh, I did work on quite a bit. So I have a pretty good stack over here. So let's start with the finished objects. So the first couple things I finished, a lot of my FOs are tiny. I just like itty bitty stuff. I don't know what it is. And I haven't shown these in a while because I haven't worked on them in a while, but if you'll recall, I was working on some Star Trek cross-stitch magnets to give to my dad, and I finished 2 more, which leaves me with 2 characters left. I have to make Wesley Crusher, and I have to work on Worf, but Worf I'm having a hard time with because I'm just trying to get his like skin color right, and I'm like, I gotta just pull out a bunch of my floss and go through it. But we have Beverly Crusher here, and it's hard to see her hands, but they are there. And then I had mostly finished LaForge, but then I was waiting to put metallic threads in for his like eye band. So I don't know if you can tell, but those are metallic. So I really like that little detail. I thought it turned out pretty nicely. I have learned a lot about working with metallics, so this was pretty easy. I mean, it's a very small amount of metallic thread, but still. So there's those 2, and when I'm done with all of them, I'll cut them out, I'll whip stitch around them, and then I got some magnets to stick on the back. And oh, yeah, I'll probably put some felt on the back too, since I got all that sticky felt. I also finished the Tomato Santa. This is like a Lucy Beam pattern, and this is stitched on, what is it stitched on? 36 count light mocha Edinburgh linen by Zweigart. This is done 1/2. I did my own like over die conversion for this. It's really, really small. So I'm going to turn it into an ornament. I did not stitch the, like there's like snowflakes in the background. I will definitely stitch this again. It is precious, but I don't know if you can tell. I did, for his beard, I got whisper thread, and yes, I did order whisper thread for 12 stitches, but I figured it would be good to have on hand, and I just think he's so cute. I want to do like maybe like some kind of like an oval shaped ornament or something like that. I don't know, but I love him. And then my third finish was just the third Lola Crow Creepy Christmas Village Sal ornament. So these are like these ravens, or maybe they're crows, I'm not really sure. And they are dressing the tree with skulls and red ribbon, so very spooky. And there are 4 out in total. This week is a break week, so there will be nothing released. It's like a catch-up week. So yeah, those are my 3 itty-bitty finishes. I know they're all really small. I'm sure that's probably not very exciting for a lot of people. I just really love finishing things. I like to finish things, and what's easier to finish than a little ornament, you know? So I guess that brings me right into my whips. I have 5, I think. I'm looking at my list here. So the first one I worked on was something that I hadn't worked on in a while, and that's precisely why I worked on it, because I was like, Hillary, you need to finish this because it's just been sitting there for months. And that is this pattern that I got on Etsy, that it just says, be nicer to yourself, you dumb bitch. I thought it was funny. And so here is where I was last time. And I had just kind of, I don't know, I guess I just kind of lost steam on it. But I was like, all right, like it's not that hard. There's really not even that much left to do. I could easily finish this in a couple more, like maybe a week. But yeah, here's where I am now. So I finished all of this upper branch here, and then I just added a little bit more of the text. So really it's just like these like branches, they'll mirror to the other side, and then I just gotta put in the rest of the text, and that shouldn't take that long. And then this is just stitched on some 28 count even weave that I got at like Joann's or Michael's or something like that. Just like some generic brand, probably DMC or something. It's pretty stiff and it's fine as far as white fabrics go. I just not like, I don't love a lot of the white fabrics from like the mainstream brands because they are so stiff. I guess I could just wash them before I use them, but really, am I gonna do that? No. So the goal is to finish this and then find a hoop that will fit around it and just do like a hoop frame and hang it on my wall in my office or something. The next thing I worked on was Tiny Blackwork 1 Welcome Sampler by the Sweetheart Tree. This is what it'll look like when it's finished. This is just stitched on 2 different sizes and there's 2 different borders you can choose from. I still haven't made my final decision on the border. Here's where I was last time. I had stitched Welcome Friends across the bottom, and I think I had just gotten the A in the alphabet in, as well as like having that border. And here is where I am now. I just continued right up with that alphabet, and I enjoy it. It's gonna be like this itty bitty thing that I'm gonna put in a little frame and just put it in my, like right where my entryway is. I am a little bit annoyed because I don't know that you guys can even see it. Maybe you can a little bit. When I went to iron this the last time, I went to use the steam function, and I don't know if it's just like because I don't use the steam function on my iron very often, but this like dirty, rusty water like just started leaking out and onto this fabric. And this fabric it's like stark white, and it's like the thinnest fabric I've ever seen. It's like a opal, what is it called? This is 40 count optical white linen by Zweigart? By Witchelt. And so it is like white, and so it like kind of stained it, but I feel like you can only see it if you're really like, if light is passing through it at the right angle. So I decided to just keep on keeping on, and I'm hoping that any stitching I do in the center will really detract from that weird staining. And then the worst one is here and then like way over here. So honestly, like that's all gonna be gotten rid of anyways when I frame it. So it should be okay. And I am stitching this with silks. This is Cosmos by Bestitch Me. I just thought that this was so pretty, and I don't know, I just like the color combo, and I really like the Bestitch Me silks. They're the only silks that I've used thus far, but so far I'm a very loyal customer. So all right, we got those. But yeah, I bought 2 10-yard skeins of this. I don't know what I was thinking because I really won't even use all of one. So I'll have a lot left over to do something else with this too. And that is that's 2 over 1, or 2 over 2, 1 over 2. Oh my gosh. That is 1 over 2 on that linen. Okay, this one's on my list, but I honestly do not recall doing this. So I don't know how much further I got, but this is Mothman Believes in You. Here's where I was before. I had set this up to do some fill-in in the car, and I guess I did a little bit more since I saw you guys. Or did I even show this to you? Yeah, I had to have. So I just did a little bit more of the fill-in here, but then I decided to stop working on this because not forever, just because I knew that I was going to be having another kind of extended car ride for like going to family Christmas. And my boyfriend's going to drive because I'm trying to learn how to be calm when other people are driving and not feel like I'm going to lose it. And so I decided to allow him to drive me the 90-minute drive to my parents' house, which is just like, that's a long time to be sitting in the car while you're not the one driving. Can you tell I have a lot of anxiety surrounding that? So I need something to distract me, and this is perfect. This is 18 count Aida that I dyed myself. I have the whole big old chunk here. I mean, why cut your fabrics? Like, why ever cut your fabrics down to size? Who ever would do that? I like to suffer through just like fistfuls of fabric because I am stitching this in hand. And I'm stitching this not with the called for DMC, but with sulky thread, and I really like it. The coverage is really nice. This is one thread over one like square, and I don't see through it at all, so that's pretty good. I like that. I will probably do more fill-in the coming week because, oh my gosh, on Sunday, literally Sunday is our family Christmas because everybody's got different plans. And I have two siblings and my parents, so it's like, it's hard to get everybody on the same page. And, you know, we all have significant others, so it's just like, well, not my parents have each other, but like, you know what I mean. And so, yeah, I will definitely be filling in more of this on the car ride to my parents' house. Here's another whip that I haven't shown you guys in a while, and I'm sad about that because I just haven't worked on it in a while. And so I'm looking to change that, which we'll talk about in plans. This is my Lord Libidin first generation Pokemon project. And here's where I was before. I have like, I think I have like 20% done. Like, it's not like I've made like insignificant progress. This is 115,200 stitches total, I believe. So no small chunk, you know, but it's just that when I started, like, because I've always been a monogamous stitcher all my life. And then in like June, maybe whenever I started this Flosstube, that was when I stopped doing that. I started touching a lot more projects, starting a lot more things, because I just realized like sometimes you get too monotonous with a singular project, and I like to have variety. And so this one kind of got put on the back burner despite it being my focus project for like the first several months of the year. But that's the other thing, like I only got that far in like 5 or 6 months, which isn't very significant to me, and that's because it became monotonous. So I decided to pick this back up, and here is where I am now. So I'll move it over here. So I spent time working mostly over in here, just because this has so many colors, like over 100 colors, a lot of like quick color changes in some areas. There's a lot of traveling that probably shouldn't be done, but I am doing because it's a lot. This is the largest piece I've ever worked on. Previous to this, it was like another full coverage. It was my I Want to Believe X-Files poster. And that took me about 2 years on and off to finish. So this one I had thought, oh yeah, I can definitely finish that in 2 years. Absolutely not happening now because of all the projects I have, but I definitely want to get more into this. I only put in like, I think 400 or 500 stitches, and I felt really good about that. And so I need to just keep on like once a week minimum, just putting a few hours into this because I really want to see this done. However, I don't like, my original plan was do this one and do Gen 2 because those are the 2 generations that I really grew up with. But now I don't know if I want to do Gen 2 because this is an undertaking, and I don't know. I have to see how I feel. I have to see how I feel when I finish this, but I really am. Every time I see a new Pokemon start to form, I get really excited, and I kind of start trying to guess who it is because I'm not like looking totally at the pattern, like the full color I don't have a full color pattern. It's like the black and white. I have it in Pattern Keeper. So it just looks like a mass of symbols until I start putting stitches in, and then I'm like, ooh, that's that guy. So yeah, I really like this. It's just gonna take a while. And then my last whip that I have is the Cunning Cross Stitch Hobbit Stitch Your Own Adventure, and this is gonna be my focus piece probably until the end of the year because I want to get the top done, because it's not only is it like Stitch Your Own Adventure, but it's a stitch along, it's a SAL. So the first part of the pattern, you know, outside of the border drops in January. And my thing is, here it is last time, so you guys have a frame of reference. And here it is now, and I'm not taking it out of the hoop because I'm gonna continue to work on it, but I've finished all of the tree except the back stitching. I need to put like, there's like a fence down here. I got a scarecrow, and then I've started my first chunk of the Hobbit house. There's like 3 chunks, and I'm doing like stone here I am trying to get all this color done, and then I will start filling in the rest. I'm almost done with this color. I probably could have finished it before starting this video, but I didn't. And then I'm gonna pop in the window, and then I will be able to shift over. So my thing with this is I would like to do the Sal. However, if I don't like the first pattern drop, I'm not going to continue. I'm just going to take my hobbit hole and make like a long-ish kind of pillow with it to put on a couch because I really like the hobbit hole aspect. And if I don't feel as passionate about the first drop, then I know I'm not going to like the rest of the pattern along with it. Just personal taste, you know, but I really like this part. Like designing the hobbit hole was really fun. So I won't have any regrets about not continuing if that's the case. But if I do like it, well, guess what? I got half a yard of fabric, so I'm ready to stitch it if all goes according to plan. But yeah, I just have to add all the back stitching in on the tree. I'm gonna wait again. Like I like to wait until the entire piece is done and then add the back stitching in because I just feel like I'm gonna mess it up if like if I back stitch it and then I put the hoop around it or something, or it overlaps the back stitching funny. I feel like it's gonna pull it up, so I get paranoid. So I'm going to just wait on the back stitching. But this is gonna be, I'll probably work on this a little bit more tonight. So I'm going to keep that right there in the hoop. So those were all my whips, but of course I had a couple of new starts. So the first new start I have, which is not done and just fully has like a needle hanging out of it. I'm not usually like that, but this is the fourth pattern in the Creepy Christmas Village Stitch Along by Lola Crow Cross Stitch. This is stitched on the called for Elephant Run fabric by Fox and Rabbit. And I usually wouldn't take me this long, but I've just been so busy. I've been on like a health journey. So I'm like trying to like exercise and cook at home more. And I also like that stuff just takes more time. That cuts into the time that I would have spent like just sitting on the couch cross stitching. So this will get done probably this weekend. And then, like I said, Friday is, there's no drop this week. I guess you'll be seeing this on Saturday. So there was no drop yesterday. And then I will have a week to do whatever. And then the next pattern will drop. So this is like a Headless Horseman carriage. And you can kind of see the horse here. You can kind of see him sitting on nothing because I haven't fully stitched the carriage yet. But yeah, this is really cute. I really like these. I like that they all go together. I'm really excited to finish these. I did buy some stuff to like not a lot, but I bought something to add to my finish of these, which I'll show you in haul. Oh, and I have it in this. I made a mini bag. So Elizabeth Ann can stitch. She has this great tutorial for these like larger vinyl front project bags. I have been making these like crazy, and I'm trying to get better at sewing. You know, nobody's taught me. I'm just trying to learn. But here's the thing that keeps happening with a lot of mine is it like the thread bunches up when I first start sewing. I don't know how to fix that. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So if you guys know, but so yeah, there's like these big ones, like this dimension is like almost a foot. I think it's like 14 inches. I don't know. I have the measurements written down somewhere, but I accidentally cut something wrong and I ended up with a piece that was too small to make that size bag. And I was like, oh, I really like the fabric. And I did this on a few of them because measuring is not always my strong suit. And then I was like, well, what if I just kind of like condensed it down a little bit and made mini project bags for like smaller projects. And then this fits in my purse better when I go to work as compared to like this big bag. So I made a few of these itty bitty ones with my mistakes. And so you can see like this is like sriracha fabric that I got at Walmart. They're just selling fat quarters. And then on the inside, it's just like a black with like plus signs or whatever. So very cute. I love the little bags. They're kind of my favorite. And then I had one other new start. This was one I had intended to start on December 1st, which I did, but man, did I screw it up. And so I had to pull it all out and start it again. And I started it again on December 3rd. And that is one of my shepherd's bush stockings. The Liz's, the Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch and Hello from Liz Matthews, they're doing like stockings and they've been talking about it for months. And so it got me like into the idea of a stocking, and I searched because they were doing, I think they're both doing like Cooler Design Studios. I went on there and they just weren't for me. It wasn't my style. It was a lot of like heavy back stitching that kind of looks very dated, which is fine. It's just not, it wasn't my vibe. And I really wanted to get, you know, ones for me and then one for my boyfriend. And then I did end up buying a third one just because what if we have a child someday? I don't know. And then I was kind of got it in my head that I wanted to make one for everybody in my family from the same line. So I needed to find a line that was big enough, that they had enough variety of design that I could pick one for everybody, and I liked the designs. And I saw the shepherd's bush ones, and I don't usually like this kind of design, but for some reason this one just grew on me. And I saw a couple floss tubers stitching them. I think Teresa Little Stitcher was stitching one, and then one of the ladies from Two Needles Pulling Thread, I believe, had stitched one for, I think, her new granddaughter. So I bought a few, and I decided to start mine first just so that I could work out all the kinks of how this works, because just in case I screwed something up, which I did. So it's a good thing I started with mine. And what I did was, so this is done on 18 count natural linen, and I picked opalescent because I'm extra like that. And it is stitched entirely with pearl cotton, and it calls for weeks pearl cotton. We're not doing that here. Too expensive, one, but also I don't use weeks. So I use the DMC conversion. It won't be variegated, but that's fine. It'll still look cute. And so it's entirely stitched with pearl cotton. Never used pearl cotton before. I do know you're not supposed to peel it apart. You use one strand like fully. And so that's not the mistake I made, but I didn't read the instructions on the back of the thing where it said to do one strand over two. And so I was doing 1/1, and I was like, why is this so thick? Like, my stitches were so thick and so bumpy and so ugly. And I started like looking at the pattern, and I'm like, this can't be right, because then I did the measurement, and I was like, if I do it 1/1, my stocking's gonna be like 6, I think it's like 6 inches wide at the top. Like, it was gonna be really small. And then I looked on the back and it said to do 1/2, and I was like, oh. So I had to pull it all out and redo it, but I'm glad that I did, because here's what I've gotten so far, just my name, but I keep looking at it and thinking that I have spelled it incorrectly somehow. But like, look at how big those stitches are. Like, at first I was kind of like, am I doing this wrong? Like, I think the first half of my name that I did, I was still like, this can't be right. This feels wrong somehow. But I don't think it is. I think it's right. And it's fun to stitch with because it's just so thick. Obviously not like wanting these done by this Christmas. That wasn't ever the goal. Probably by next Christmas, I should have mine and my boyfriend's, and then maybe I can start on somebody else's as well. I don't think that they are all that dense. You know, it's a lot of the motifs are pretty spread out, and they do have like a beads pack, an embellishment pack, and the embellishment pack is mighty expensive. Like, I believe the embellishment pack was like $20. Like, the pattern is $10, the embellishments are $20, and there's really not a whole lot in there. So I don't know if I'll do embellishments for everybody. I did buy the packs for me, my boyfriend, and the third stocking I bought. I like the idea of doing it, and these are kind of like long-term pieces. They're going to be around, so maybe splurging a little bit is not the end of the world, but I do think that that's very expensive for like 30 beads. That's just my opinion. I bought it anyways, obviously. So yeah, I have all the pearl cottons for all of them, so I'm ready to go. And I cannot wait to work on this some more in the next couple weeks, because I really love how big the stitches are. They're so funny. So those were all of my whips and my new starts. So why don't I show you my haul, and then I will talk about my plans for 2024. And just keep in mind, I do timestamp all my videos, so if you don't care about haul, you can skip right beyond that with a quick click. So the first thing I did was I needed some more of a DMC color, and I had a few colors that I don't have because they're like the discontinued colors, but 123 Stitch has some of them, so I did place a 123 Stitch order, and I got the color I needed plus some of those discontinued colors that they had in stock. So the colors, oh, I had two colors that I needed. It was 3865, which is like a white, which I was out of, and 3770, which I actually didn't need. I don't know why I bought it. I thought I needed it. And then I got 5 of the like discontinued colors. So we have 806, which is this blue, 971, the orange, 776, 504, which is a really pretty kind of bluey green, and then 731. I think those are the discontinued ones. That's probably why I bought them. So I got those, and then I was like, well, that's a boring order, so I need to add something. So I got the rest of the Prairie Schooler Santas that are available on 123 Stitch, so now I just have to hunt down all the other ones that I don't have. So I got the 2023 Santa, because I'm like, well, it is 2023, I should probably get that one. He's got some snowflakes around him and a lantern. I got the 2021 Santa, where he's got like a big barn owl, and there's like a couple animals here. Oh, he's got a raccoon tucked under his arm. I didn't even notice that. That's so funny. Look at that raccoon. I got the 2020 Santa, which, you know, at first I thought like maybe he was running away from these rabbits that were attacking him, but I'm starting to realize now that it's wind, and it even says north wind on there, so I don't know why I didn't think about that. And then there's 2019 Santa, and this one has some sheep there. I got 2018 Santa, where he is building a snowman, and it says let it snow. And then I got the 2016 Santa, and there's just a big old reindeer in the back, and it says ho ho ho. So I have a good collection going. My goal is to collect all of them and turn them into ornaments, because I'm on an ornament kick. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I like these kinds of designs lately for some reason. I never used to. So I got those from 123 Stitch. And then I was ordering something from Target, and something popped up where it was like, books were like buy 2 get 1 free, and I was just like, all right, let me look around. And I picked up 3 cross-stitching books. So they have the Creepy Cross-Stitch book. It's 25 spooky projects to haunt your halls. I've seen people stitch stuff from this. It's got some really cute patterns. Let me see if I can find, like, there's like a whole bunch of like spooky rooms and stuff like that. So this will be great for next Halloween. And then I got this cute, I hate this, cute kawaii cross stitch. Bro, you just say cute cross stitch, like shut up. But it's got a ton of itty bitty designs. I don't want to break the binding to show you anything, but like, yeah, here's like some of the little designs, and they're all over the front. And then I got, which was like really like the main reason that I went there, was I wanted the Mega Mini Cross Stitch book by Ozumakoto, and they had it. And so I got this. This is another bunch of mini motifs, which this is going to come back into play in plans, so stay tuned. But this is, I have 2 other books by this guy, and this one, it has like 900 motifs. I have a couple more here that I bought in Japan. So these are all, well, 4 of these books. These are going to be important for plans, so you will see. Stay tuned. My Bestitch Me stuff came in, which I'm part of their fabric club and their floss club. And I did swap my fabric club to be 40 count even weave, because before I was doing, I think like 32 count or something like that. I don't know. I need more 40 counts in my life. So this was called Fall Foliage, and I think it's gonna show up just, yeah, I think that's about true to color. It looks like fire. It's so, so pretty. I don't even know what I want to do with this yet. I mean, I haven't decided on anything, but it's like, it's so soft. Like, this is a really nice fabric. And then the flosses, I'm being dramatic, but like I did literally gasp when I opened these. These have to be the best ones I've received so far. So these are two 25-yard hanks of silks. And the first one is called Plaid. And I could not believe, like, I don't know what, like, this is very Christmassy to me for some reason. I really, really liked it. It's just very like classic colors. It's red, green, blue, and white. I don't even know like what I could do with this, but it is so fun. And then this beautiful, it's called Evergreen. It's just like a really nice jewel toned green and very variegated. So this will be very useful for a lot of things. I love greens. And then this is like, I'm so excited about this, but I placed this order to Stitching Lane. If you guys have not heard of Stitching Lane, you need to go over to Stitching Lane right now and sign up for their email blasts because they send out coupons that are really good. And so they sent out, I think it's like a 50% off coupon. And I was like, don't mind if I do. And they have fabric and they have patterns and they have floss. They have like over dyes and that kind of thing. So I was like, let me see if there's anything I don't need. And they were also having a sale already on some items because of like the Black Friday, Cyber Monday type Christmas deals. And that coupon stacked. So I spent $30, well, $35.89, but that was including like $5 shipping. So $35.89 on all the stuff I'm about to show you. So I got 3 patterns. I got this brand new Kathy Barrick pattern called North Pole with the weird long Santa Claus, which I had my eye on. This was $6 because of the discount. I paid $6 for a brand new pattern. And then the next 2 patterns, they were already discounted. And then I got to take 50% off of that. So I got Halloween Quaker here, which is a pattern I've been wanting for a while by Leela Studio. And I'm pretty sure I paid like a few bucks for this big pattern. So that was really cool. And then Away We Ride was also discounted. And I was like, well, everybody loves this pattern. So maybe I'll pick it up and have it in stash and someday I will stitch it. It is cute. It's just like everybody was stitching it. And I was like, I don't want to stitch it because everybody's stitching it. But now I kind of was like having FOMO and getting, I think I got it for like $4. So insane. I also snagged a pack of Bowen needles in size 28. Everybody's always talking about how much they love Bowen needles, and I just use DMC needles because that's what's at the store. But everyone's like, oh, I love Bowen needles, they're so nice. So I just want to see what the hype is about, and if I don't like them, then oh well. Like, because to me, like, a needle is a needle, but that may not be the case because I've never really tried any of the fancier needles, so we'll see. And then I just got a ton of overdyes, just whatever I wanted, whatever looked good, because I don't really have a lot in stash and I kind of want to build up a little bit of a stash of overdyes to have so that I can sub out DMCs when I want to. And so they have Classic Colorworks, which I really enjoy, and they have Gentle Arts. So let's go through the Classic Colorworks first. And like I said, I just picked anything that caught my eye. So I got Pansy Purple, which I don't know if you guys can see. I don't really think there's too much variegation on that. That's the thing with Classic Colorworks. Either they're pretty variegated or they're not variegated at all. And the other one I got that was kind of like that is Zach Black, which is just a kind of gray tone. Like, again, I don't really see much variegation with that. Oh well, you live, you learn. And then I got some from them that were more variegated. So I got Sunflower, which is this like yellow where it's kind of like lighter and more golden in spots. I got Candy Corn, which is orange and like light yellow. So that one's cute. I got Orangina or Orangina, which I saw on Tiger Lily Designs channel. She was using it in a project and I was like, that's really pretty. It's orange and pink. Like, it's really fun. And then I got this weird looking one, which is like a pastel green, pastel pink to kind of like a parchmenty white, and it's called Cottage Garden, and if you can even see, it's very pastel-y, but yeah, I thought that was really fun. And then I got Gentle Arts. Okay, here's the thing with Gentle Arts. I tried to figure this out once a while ago, and I've already forgotten, but it's like, you have like the Simply Shaker, and then you have like sampler threads, and that, like, they have so many different tags that I don't know which one is which or what means what. So I'm just going to put them all together. So I got Old Purple Paint, which is this kind of like funky purple over dye. I got this one, just really called to me. It's called Creek Bed, and it's like brown and blue and green and just really interesting. I got this one called Ohio Sky, which is like a gray variegated, and I thought this would be good for like animal fur or something like that, you know, like a wolf or a rabbit or something that comes up in a pattern. I got Espresso Bean, which again, just looking for like some more variegated, like darker, not quite black type colors. I got Trade Wind, which this one, I just thought it looked like, oh, we dropped it in the dirt. It's like a light blue with like this kind of brown tone on it. Brick Path, which is pretty true to its name, just some very bricky stone colors. Otter Creek, which is like a deep green. Again, I just love greens, so had to get myself that one. And last but not least, I got Royal Purple from them, and look at that. There's like hints of kind of blue and indigo in there. This is probably my favorite one. So, like I said, I got all of these overdyes, the Bowen needles, and 3 really big patterns for $30 plus $5 shipping. So check out Stitching Lane. Like, if you have not already, check them out. So that is my haul. Let me just talk really quick to you about my plans for next year. I think I'll have like one more Flosstube before the end of the year, maybe. But then, yeah, 2024. So I have one really big plan that is like concrete, and then kind of more nebulous stuff. So let me talk about the concrete plan first. So I have this crazy idea that I want to do, and it is, I've decided to call it a year in stitches. And what I'm going to do is, I know some people do like temperature stitches and stuff like that, and I think that's a cool idea, but it's just not like, I have never once in my life checked the weather on purpose. Like, I am not the type of person who goes out in the world dressed prepared for the weather. I don't care about the weather. I'm gonna wear what I want. I'm gonna do what I want. So like the temperature stitch, I'm just like, I don't care. Like, I don't care about the weather. But I wanted to do something, and I came across somebody, and I'll see if I can find their video again, but they did this kind of like stitch diary, and I've seen people do this with embroidery, but they did like a cross stitch version of it on a trip that they had taken, and that's what kind of inspired me to do this, where they did a little motif every day, or maybe not every day, but they did one for each day to represent something in that day, and it's like a diary. And I used to journal a ton. I have stacks and stacks of journals from all the way back to when I was like 13 or 14. And just lately, it was really around the time of COVID, I just stopped journaling. Life got pretty dull. There was nothing to say. And I've just not been able to get back into it, even though I want to. And so I thought this would be kind of a fun project. So I have created on Stitch Fiddle, which I will pop up here if I can, like a kind of vague outline. So at the top it says a year in stitches, and I found a free cross stitch alphabet, and I put it in. It's called like Santa letters or something like that, and it was too festive, so I just modified it a little bit, so it's pretty much the same. I just took away some of the like fancier swirls and put a year in stitches on the top, and then I think it's like 18 across, 20 down, plus 6 at the bottom, because 2024 is a leap year, and that'll be 366 days, I think. And I'm going to order this Sunday, when I have a little extra cash, I'm going to order a large piece of pre-gridded fabric, because I don't want to have to count this one out, because I'm going to be doing it on even weave. So I'm going to get a pre-gridded even weave, 32 count. I decided on 32 count. And yeah, I've assigned essentially, I guess it would be like a 40 no, it'd be 20 by 20. I think I did like a 20 by 20 square. I don't know. I can't remember. But I assigned everybody, like, there's like a same square size. And then the center of that square is where I'll stitch the motif. And I figured even weave would be nice because that way I could do kind of like half stitches if I needed to and like play a little bit more. And every day I will decide on like just something to summarize the day, just like a little picture that I want to make. And either I will create the pattern myself in Stitch Fiddle, or I will use these books that I have to find some kind of tiny pattern. So like I have stitched a lot from these two just in the past because these are ones that I've had for many years. I bought them while I was living in Japan and I got a lot of good use out of them. And then this is another book by the same guy and I was just like, that'll fit in perfectly. And then while I was browsing, I had found this with tons of, like, this one has a lot of food motifs mostly, it seems. It does have some other stuff in there too, but like they're all pretty good size. They're kind of like around the right size to all go together. These ones all have faces on them. I might stitch them without a face. I don't know. But yeah, that's my idea. And I just think that it would be really fun. And at the end of the year, so long as I keep up, I would have a really cool memory piece that I can frame and put somewhere, I don't know, and just be like, that was my year in stitches. So that's my really big ambitious plan for 2024. And then I just have a few other kind of like vague plans. Like I am going to continue to start whatever I want, whenever I want, because previously I was a monogamous stitcher right up until like halfway through this year. And so I know a lot of people are kind of pulling it back and they're like, I'm going to work on my whips, but I don't feel like I have that many whips like going, and I feel like I have plenty of stash that I can pull from. So I would like to just keep starting what I want. And I want to continue to try more designers and more materials and like new to me stuff. So like, you know, with the stocking, I'd never used pearl cotton before. So that was new to me. You know, I like doing that kind of stuff. Try new stitch styles, try new finishing styles, all of that. I want to keep expanding on my like abilities there. I want to get more headway with the Pokemon project. My goal is probably maybe hit 50% by the end of the year. That would be kind of nice. I don't know if I'll be able to achieve that. I should be able to, right? Like that would be like 2.5% done each month. So I think I could do that. And then my last is just stitch more and more ornaments, like ornaments on ornaments on ornaments. I just want to have a huge box of cross stitch ornaments that I can pull from. So those are all of my plans. So yeah, that is kind of what I want to do. If you have any questions about my Year in Stitches project, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them, or really anything. If you have any questions, I'm here. I'll respond to your comment. But yeah, that is going to be it from me. I will see you guys again in another 2 weeks. I hope that you are, if you are a Christmas stitcher, you're enjoying your Christmas stitching. I've never stitched Christmas until this year, but I'm having a good time with it. I mean, I love the Tomato Santa. I love him. So let me know what you're stitching on down in the comments, and I'll see you guys in another couple of weeks. Bye.